Hello and welcome to the Podstirers.
A podcast with two brown Catholic South Africans teach you things you didn't learn in high school.
Now, stay tuned for your hosts, the Duke and Dame of Stirring the Pot, Bugz
And Blue. How you doing, everybody?
Hello, people. How's it going? It's a new week. It's episode 18. So we made a mistake on the previous episode. That indeed was episode 17. We said 18 in the podcast, but it's supposed to be 17, and this is episode 18. So we're not mind fucking you guys. We just made a mistake. Sorry.
Thanks for that, Blue. It's been an interesting couple of days. How you been, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
Like I said, it's been an interesting couple of days.
Yeah, it has. Surely has, hasn't it?
It's been an interesting couple of days.
Yeah.
So
Today's topic is
about one of my interesting days.
Yeah. Bugz went on quite an adventure. Bugz, please enlighten us on your recent expedition and adventures and your new...
And my culture shock.
Yeah.
So, I kind of always knew about this, but I'd never actually seen it in action. So, to see it in action was something else. And I saw the blesser life in action.
Hashtag blessed.
The sugar life, the sweet life, oh my goodness, I didn't know if I was Arthur or Martha life. And it was crazy. So I was out with people and we were out on a Sunday night.
Okay, it was a Sunday.
And I just saw rich daddies with bottles of fancy alcohol with young women around them with done nails and hair and dresses and everything. And I'm like, I'm not stupid, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I get these things. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was mind blown. I was just like, what is this? And I was just like, this life looks lovely. So easy.
Yeah. Where was it? Was it at a club, at a bar, at a restaurant?
It's a lounge kind of bar club thing.
Okay, so
I wouldn't
Sunday
say
nights.
I wouldn't say it's
so
a club.
it's like a Sunday night, sundowner, chiller kind of evening at a lounge.
Yeah,
place.
like a old school R&B hip hop vibe,
Alright.
dance kind of.
Okay.
Thug
So-
love, yada yada. That kind of thing.
Okay.
So from my trauma, I kind of just was like, blue, 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 blue. Ah! And we started talking about it, and we figured that, like, we wondered what everybody else was saying.
Yeah, so we wanted to get the terminology right and find out some interesting things. So obviously you get, I think it's in South Africa you get blessers and you get blessies. In America or in Europe and whatever, you get sugar daddies and sugar babies.
Yeah,
then
and
that's
sugar mamas.
sugaries. Yeah, so then you also get sugar mamas. You get cougars. You get MILFs. I think that's about the term. And when I researched it I didn't see it, so I just researched it, and just from a theoretical view, sugaring seems a bit more formal in the relationship, because when I was checking, I saw there's another website, but sugaring is different to like the blesser blessee life. Not different, but it's not exactly the same.
The thing is, like, from what we read, like, after my culture shock, we saw that there's no consistency.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no consistency.
Because
and
in sugaring, you can have money, you can have gifts, you can have an allowance, but it doesn't always include sex.
doesn't always include sex, isn't always exclusive, and I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah, it can also be
going on.
exclusive as well.
The thing is, like, sometimes it can turn into an actual relationship.
Yes.
But, like, the dudes are married.
Not all the time, but yes,
Most
majority
of the time,
they married.
The blessers.
Yeah, okay, the blessers, so yeah, they are married. And they can have more than one blessee, and the blessee can have more than one blesser.
That's mad. That's madness. And in the States, in the United States, they rack it up. They take it up a notch, as they always do.
Yeah.
So as an elite, what do you call it? Baby, sugar baby.
Oh.
Like, you get extra if it's a fancy date. So you'll get your monthly allowance from sugar daddy number 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And if sugar daddy number 2 wants to take you on a super fancy date on a helicopter and then freaking a naked Japanese man cooking for you kind of thing. That kind of extravagance.
Right. I get you.
Then he gives you extra money.
What?
To like doll up. And I'm like, how am I?
So you get an allowance or whatever, however you get your normal payment rate, and then you get money to spoil yourself or to look good for him.
Yeah, like if it's over and above what the allowance is for. Because apparently blessers and whatnots are paying for like education and rent, and it's mad.
So the sugar babies, what are they paying for?
That's my question. Because for me, I'm like, ultimately, except in the case of like the apparent 60% of blessies and sugar babies who don't have sex with their hoo-has.
Right.
It's kind of like just transactional for me. I think ultimately it comes down to like something in exchange for sex.
So then what makes that different to prostitution?
I don't fucking know. That's why my mind was blown and I was just like, what's going on?
Okay, so okay.
Societal meltdown alert.
Right, okay, let's break it down. What do prostitutes do? They give money for sex.
No. They give sex and get money in exchange. Yeah, so there is money for sex.
But one can argue that is a once-off meeting, once-off arrangement, once-off whatever, once-off transaction.
Okay, yeah, one-off transaction, like quick and fast, it's transactional.
But now with sugaring, you have it's more than once. You form kind of a relationship with the person. So it's more complex, and it's not just about money and sex. It's also, there's some level of romance, some level of intimacy.
This is what blows my brain, Bugz. I don't get it. I'm just like, okay, I get it, but I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. Okay, I could never do it. Maybe that's why I just can't get my head around this, and why I was like in complete meltdown as to how this can happen.
Okay.
Apparently, also the difference is, hey, I can't believe this, is that you get to choose. In prostitution, you don't get to choose who you're doing. You don't really get to choose who, what, where, how, blah blah blah. Whereas with sugaring, whoever you're getting sugar from may actually be like, so what do you want to do, honey? You get me?
Correct.
So it's not just purely transactional.
Okay.
And maybe, but I don't see what the difference is. If it's like that, then why is it not a relationship? Why is it not a relationship? And like, why is it so fuck upwardness?
Because the guys are married
and not exclusive, and it's fuck. Like, if you could see me right now, I'm like holding my head.
Because it's not the usual. It's not normal, and it shouldn't be taken as normal.
Well, I mean, it's a risky business.
It is.
It's a risky business, and like they say that now with the sugaring life and like with its psychological and sociological effects.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. You're paying for commitment and trust.
Who is paying for commitment and trust?
Exactly. I don't even know anymore. There's such a power struggle in all of this, in my opinion, that it actually freaks me out. And because Yo, bro, you can get taken advantage of so easily.
Who can get taken advantage of?
Whether you're a dumb sugar daddy, like of the people we've spoken to, we'll get to them.
Yeah.
Some of the people we've spoken to about like dumb sugar daddies who just get taken for a ride, or young dumb girls who need university fees and don't know any better. So it's subtle and it like kind of happens gradually, but all of a sudden. And it's weird because it's like kind of prostitution but kind of love and romantic, and I'm like, huh?
Okay, I understand what you're saying, right? But there is a dating site that I found in America. Okay. I'm not gonna say dating site. I'm gonna say website, right? It's called.
It is a website.
Okay, right. A website called Seekingarrangementcom. It was founded by a dude who is based in the UK, but he's born in Singapore. His name is Brandon Wade. He started the business. I'm gonna call it a business in 2006. So on their web page, this is the argument that they state there, right? So they say there, in inverted commas, arrangements are legal in every country because an arrangement is about two adults who are honest about their expectations. So they're saying prostitution is illegal, correct? So they're saying it's not prostitution because arrangements are legal because the arrangement between the two that find their partners on their side, it's honest and they are honest about the expectations and they are consenting adults.
Okay. Did you tell them what the name of the website is?
Yes, it's seekingarrangement.com.
Seekingarrangement.com.
Yes. So they call their they call their dating, whatever they call it arrangement.
It's arrangements. It's like literally. I'm like, what even?
So what do you think about that? Arrangements are legal in every country.
I feel, but this is exactly it. Is that it's risky because
it's bloodlines.
It's bloodlines. You can be taken advantage of really easily. It can be dangerous. You can be exploited, coerced into God only knows what. And no.
And the scary part is that it's young girls that are getting involved. Yes, we understand that they are adults in terms of the law, but at the same time, girl.
They can't compete with life experience.
Yes.
Honestly, I hated that in my late teens and early 20s, but it's a fact of life. By virtue of being alive for longer, it makes a difference. No offense, young ones. But
no, it does make a difference. It does. It makes a big difference. And if you don't have a smart what's about you, but we'll get to that. You can go south very quickly.
They say okay, so I suppose it's can you hear how difficult it is to get out?
All the size and the noises
how difficult
and everything.
It is. We should just kind of apparently we should just not judge what adults do behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And I get that, and because they're willing. And it goes back to what was it? Episode 14, guys. Check it out if you haven't. Where we talk about being safe, sane, and consensual.
This is what we mean.
So come on. If you guys are both agreeing that you kind of get jiggy with him and hang on his arms like a little baby doll twice a month.
My hand is up.
And pause 1 second.
Okay.
And you getting 10,000 rand in exchange, well then, and he's happy to do it, then who's the rest of the world to say no? Hello.
But how do you know the same decision was made by the girl or the guy? Because it must be safe, sane, and consensual, right?
Yeah.
What if she has some weird trauma that's messing her brain up? That's not making her sensible.
Yo, well then, I don't know. I can't help everyone in life.
I'm just asking a question.
I don't need.
If you can't answer my question, Fuzik.
Okay, I'm foot stacking. So, how many people did we get around to chatting to, Mr. Blue?
We did not that many. Well, 6 people.
Handful.
A handful. Well, more than a handful. A handful is 5.
Oh wait, we did well.
Oh wait, we did more than a hand. So.
Oh wait, give us some fingers and some more fingers and toes as well. Drop us some comments and let us know your point of view.
Please. So do you want to start or?
So this oak over here. Let him tell you his story about what he had to say on the matter of the Bless Alliance.
My one, I said, I'll take a sugar mama. Lol. If she's look, if she's single, if she's good looking and she's older, I'm not gonna say no. And if she wants to pay me,
what does she want from you?
My handsomeness.
Your handsomeness. She wants to get comfortable with you.
Oh
my goodness. We got one. We had one of those stories.
Yeah. So no, I don't know. But if I see someone that's older and I'm in a relationship with that person and they want to pay me, I'm not going to say no. But I'm not saying I'm not going to look specifically for a sugar mama. I joke about it, yes, but I'm not going to go look for one. But if one approaches me and it's like above board and everything, I'll probably say yes.
What do you mean above board?
Like she's not married.
At what level
not married,
is it above
whatever.
board?
You know, no crazy exes and shit like that. There. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you'll take an allowance,
I'll take an allowance. Hands down, I'll take an allowance. I don't mind.
What, you're gonna get up and go to gym every morning?
Yeah, I don't mind. If I'm getting an allowance, damn, I'll go.
What the hell? Okay, yeah. I mean, I'd love it, but I don't think I could ever do it. But and on the prostitution likening?
Yeah, look, sometimes it could be similar. There is similarities because at the end of the day, it's if you break it down to its basics, that's what it's for. You're getting some things for sex with money.
In some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I don't have any personal people that are involved or have a bliss or blessed or have a sugar daddy or sugar baby.
Hey.
So I can't speak about that, but that's...
Yeah, he wasn't...
That's me.
Maybe we need to get you to see it to be half as traumatized as I was. Because, bruv, can you hear? I was traumatized. So we spoke to another lovely lady who comes from... Where's this lovely lady from?
Inanda Township.
She is from Inanda. She is a young, lovely, dedicated woman who is a grandmother at 38 years old. So that's a little bit of history on her.
Right.
And when we asked her, she was actually like, what?
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't know anyone who's like involved in the blessed life, and she kind of seemed like she didn't want to know anyone involved in that kind of life. And that, for me, I agree. That's where it's the ethics of it that irks
I was
me.
quite shocked though that she didn't know anyone of it or had any contact, because look, maybe it was wrong of me to assume, but I would assume people from...
I thought it was a big business.
Yeah.
I thought it was a big booming business.
Yeah.
But she says she understands the industry. She understands the industry, but she would never...
Maybe it's students though, because students don't live at home. Students live on res. So if you live at home, you can't do this. If you're away from home, then you can.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
and students are fucking ruthless.
Yeah.
So, like, she says she gets it. It could be, you don't know the situation, the background, maybe things are hard at home, like poverty. And, yeah, bruh, socioeconomic issue 101 kind of thing. And, yeah, so... That was what our first lovely lady had to let us know about the sugar life. She was just like, this should not be around. She understands it, but no, not for her, against it, done. Then we found someone. This was an interesting someone. Someone who's been asked to get comfortable.
Explain the story.
So this fine young man is, as I mentioned, fine, and has been approached by sugar mamas.
He's 26 years old, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's been approached by sugar mamas and like, oh yeah, just like, you know, come keep me company. We'll get comfortable.
Take my number.
Like, call me, or, you know, let's get to know each other kind of thing. But you know kind of thing. And so that kind of blew my mind a little bit. I was just like, okay, so women are involved in this as well. Lovely, well done, South Africa. He also knows a blesser. Or yeah, for lack of a better word, this human is a blesser, and his perspective on the thing, and I found it interesting, is that money is just like the motivator. Like these old guys kind of have so much money that they don't know what to do with it, so they're just like, aware, we tired of the throne now, kind of thing. Let's go enjoy our money.
Okay.
Not like that's the only thing they have to flaunt. That's the only game they have, kind of vibe.
Oh, okay. I get you.
Yeah.
No game, just money.
Yeah, no game, just money.
All
and he said he would never get involved. He was just like, I don't want a woman that's like that, who expects to have 10,000 rand. Maybe my wife, or yes, my wife, but
Ish.
I know, right?
10 grand.
10 grand, that's apparently like the rate for a blessee. Like some women only date for 10k a month. I'm like,
what?
C'est la vie.
Yo, bruh, that's nice. Okay, following, I've also got a young man, same age, 26. He also knows a blesser. He says, obviously, the trade-off there is mostly it's money and sex. So
Exactly.
the girls get the money because they're normally students who are at campus, and they have friends who maybe are a bit more well off, and they can't fit in with their friends. So their friends always have nails, hair done, just that, going to the parties this way, that way.
The blessy life.
So they can't get money from home because maybe they are the other friends
Yeah,
now.
there is no money
Maybe
at
they're
home
studying
to
on a
get.
bursary or a scholarship or whatever.
Yeah.
So they don't want to work, or maybe they don't have time to work. So you get a blesser.
So how do you have time to have a blesser?
I don't
Blessers
know.
take time?
I don't know.
They don't.
But it's not a full-time job.
It's not a full-time
Yeah.
job, boy.
I asked him about sugar mamas. He says yes, they do exist. They're a bit more rare because look, ladies don't have to pay for sex.
Your factory don't.
Yeah, ladies don't have to pay for sex. And also they have to be
don't.
discreet about it, because if someone finds out, then they don't want people talking bad about them. Their reputation is,
Okay, that's
especially
a
if
whole
they have
issue.
other children. as
Oh
well,
yeah, if they have children and a husband,
Yeah,
and
all of that.
all those other
All those
disgraceful things.
Yeah. So yeah, the blessers need the attention, the blessees need the gifts or the cash or the whatever it is. So
I don't know. Not for me, Booty. I'm Pontius Pilate. I'm Pontius Pilate.
wash my hands clean.
I wash my hands clean of this.
Okay, the last person we spoke to is also another young lady. I think she's maybe mid-20s as well. She stays in Amlas. She doesn't understand or agree with the whole best of life. She says that money should be earned honestly.
I was so proud of
And-
her. I was so proud of her.
She said that you have to work to earn your money. You can't just be someone's girlfriend and.
Yeah,
that,
I was
you know?
just like aware.
She said it's equivalent to prostitution.
She
And she was straight up.
she got straight
straight
up. She was just like,
oh.
no, no.
And she says that what I found interesting, I think you also figured out. She says the blessee is happy, but what about the wife?
She was
Because-
the only one. Hey.
Yeah, because she's the only one who mentioned the wife. And
I
most
felt
of the time,
so bad, and
people
it's
are
true.
married.
She
Yeah.
was just like, all these blessers are married, and the wives are sitting at home, but the blessies
And
are.
they have a family,
Yeah, exactly. They have a family, and there's these mistresses.
expecting to be spoiled, and
Mistresses. Ultimately,
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's so
Yeah.
before. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I can't change the world, but I'm sharing my trauma with the world. So
the other thing that I found interesting is I read an article online. I think it was IOL earlier this year. I can't remember the link, but it was IOL. And they said that some of these girls actually, there's two ladies in the article who said they both got HIV or a thing from STD from their blessers.
yeah, don't
And they were
surprise
young
me.
girls. They started when they were like 19, and now the one girl
Don't surprise
is
me.
30 and she's got a kid, and the kid has HIV and
Doesn't-
she has
yeah.
HIV, and it's
Who loves,
the
bruh?
man, it doesn't worry about them. It's crazy.
Yeah, what else do you expect? You jump on
Shit.
the train and expect to get off where?
I
On
think-
a different track.
I think these types of relationships are very scary. They're very dangerous.
They
Because
dangerous.
it can be exploitative for the sugar babies or the sugar daddies, because Okay, first with the sugar babies or the blessies, they can get taken advantage of if they go alone or something, or there's more than one man, and
like sexual danger.
Yeah, sexual danger. There's physical danger, like verbal, physical abuse. They can get abused verbally as well, and doing things that they don't want to, but because they're getting paid. Yeah, because they're getting paid for it. So I think we need to tread very carefully as a society when we normalize these kinds of relationships, and we need to bring up our girls to understand that what they're worth and what they shouldn't agree with, and the men need to bring up the boys in the same way how to treat a lady. Be a gentleman all the time.
That was Blue's Bit for the week.
Thanks for staying tuned. Be sure to tell us how much you love listening to us.
We're all over the internet. Just search the Pot Stirrers Durban.
And pick your platform to like, follow, comment, and subscribe.
Stay safe. The Pot Stirrers, teaching you things you weren't taught in high school.